Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Front Runner podcast. My name's Andy Adams. I'm filling in for Arlen today. He's having a well-deserved break with the family. But alas, don't fear. The other half of the duo is here, Lincoln Moore. Welcome, mate.
Hey, Andy. Good to have you on, mate. Big shoes to fill. Arlen takes a fair bit of the brunt work of this podcast week in and week out. So, big shoes to fill, but good to have you back, mate. It was about 12 months ago we brought you on, and I think you tipped the VRC Derby winner, did you not?
I may have. No SA horse to tip this year, so we'll see how we go. And I didn't say you're in red hot form. I must mention 6 for 7, nearly tipping the card last week at Strathalbyn. Have you done that before?
I don't think I have. I've got similar before, 8 out of 9 I think back in the day, but never got the elusive card. So and it's all makes it worse that there was a $2.30 favourite that got tipped over and
half a length.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go again. We're 2 from 2 today, so it could happen today.
The quest goes on. Sure. So we'll kick off today's podcast with the news, as we do all the time, and a late addition to the run sheet. Race 1, Murray Bridge Wednesday, probably doesn't normally get too much coverage, but a special moment today.
Absolutely. Lawrence Diakovic, 8.5 years since she last rode competitively on a race day, comes out and wins on It's Been a Battle, or It's Another Battle?
It's Another
Battle. The mum's It's Been a Battle. Sorry. What an amazing effort. I mean, Lauren's obviously now created 2 of the most memorable moments in SA racing probably in the last 20 years. First was winning the Blue Diamond on Miracles of Life, which obviously captured the imagination of Australian racing, and today's effort was superb. Obviously, she's a massive part of the Shane and Cassie Oxlade stable. They've had this horse sitting there for a while. In the back of their mind has always been, are you going to make a comeback because we'll hold this horse up and wait for you? And she said yes. She's done it, and that horse was never ever going to get beaten. And I know our good friends at Sportsbet, someone there yesterday may have splashed the odds of $8. I wasn't fast enough to react to that, but it ended up $2.70 and even shorter today.
Jumped to $1.70, I think.
$1.70.
Someone's filled up.
Someone's filled up. I'm not sure how much they're able to get on, but good luck to the punters that were savvy early, because it had trolled up like a horse that could win a race. And what a fairy tale. Yeah, just another amazing chapter in her racing journey, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, good luck to Lauren moving forward. So we'll head back to Friday night, Gawler Cup night. You guys billed it as possibly the best edition of that race in its history, and it probably didn't disappoint. Andrew Gluyas trained Air Assault coming out and winning. Yeah,
obviously he was the class horse. We lost Cardoon Graveyard to the Sale Cup, but that probably took a little bit of the gloss off the quality of the field. But as we said last week, was certainly one of the, if not best, Gawler Cup fields I'd seen. And look, Air Assault, what a horse he's been over the journey. He's been a good horse from the moment he stepped out as a 2-year-old, went through all the good 3-year-old races, and he's still winning races like this. And it sort of didn't unfold as many would have thought, because he's a horse that's been on speed most of his career, and they went fast. He was able to sit off them and won very well.
And probably got under the guard a little of punters. $9.50 for a horse that's won multiple black type races and rarely ever runs out of group and listed.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at his career, as we said, he's been in good races the whole way through, and certainly probably shouldn't have been that price in hindsight. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it, as a punter?
Yeah. You could tip the card in hindsight. Okay, and then moving on to Cox Plate Day, probably not a lot of news from an SA point of view. Obviously, we got called off after 3 races at Morphettville due to lightning, which was unfortunate. And a lot of the SA runners in Melbourne probably didn't perform up to expectation. A couple of highlights, though. Let me check which horse was it again. We always get these mixed up.
Clubell.
Yeah. I get all the K's mixed up. Clubell ran a nice second in the Group 2 McEwen, beating some very fancied runners. And also Aruga Mama saluted for favourite backers in Adelaide, winning by 7 lengths.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you won't be the only or the last person to get one of the Clubells or Caravasses or Carakazoos mixed up. Neville Morgan, obviously, the Leviathan owner he is, he loves to use the K in his ownership, and it absolutely had us rattled earlier when we were trying to talk through this. We were getting more confused the more we spoke about it, but Clubell went enormous. It's probably, as you said, probably best run of its career, taking some good ground off some pretty handy horses in what was a race that had some depth, that had obviously the Sangster winner, Charmstone leading and knocking up. She didn't run up to her best, but that's one for another day. But Clabell ran super, and yeah, I guess that's probably another, this second arm of the Richard and Chantel Jolly stable now in Melbourne. It just gives them so much options with their horses in Melbourne. They can keep them probably going longer because they're not doing all the travelling. And he's probably got a good race in him, you'd think, over the next month or so. So it'd be interesting to see where they go. There's no walk-ups this time of year, as we touched on. But, he was enormous. And, Aruga Mama here in Adelaide, as you said, we only got the 3 races, but she absolutely made a mess of them. I thought when they bet about $1.65, that was the right price, and she ended up winning like a good thing. So I think we'll talk to Andrew Gluyas a little bit later on, but I believe she'll be nominated for Tuesday, the 2,800 metre race on Cup Day. It's now restricted, I think, to Australian-bred horses, Australian-New Zealand-bred horses. Yep. So the imports can't pinch it. But, that'd be a really good option for her. And maybe this year's the year that, after they sort of bypassed last year, she may be an Adelaide Cup contender in a few months' time.
For sure. And just lastly, a horse that is a favourite of yours and gets a mention on this podcast a lot, Prairie Flower, also heads to Melbourne. It's in the Group 2, Kieran Ichiban, sprint over 1,100.
Yeah, Prairie Flower. I think she does get a lot of mention on this podcast. We always say she's going to knock over a good race at some point, and it could be this race. Looks winnable if everything goes right. She's just got to jump better and put herself in the spot. But we know she's got a devastating turn of foot, so she'll go over there. There's a stack of Melbourne interest across the next week, and we'll probably get further into that a little bit later on. But Prairie Flower, certainly one to keep an eye on. I reckon she's got a race in her. Yeah,
big track, gate 2. Hopefully maybe settles a bit closer, and hopefully.
Can be, I think, disadvantageous to a lot of horses, but I actually like her drawn there because she's a horse that can take a gap, and she'll just need the pace on, and as you said, just got to jump with them and not be giving them a big start.
Okay, follow me time. What do you got, Link?
Yeah, this is one of our horses, Andy. Me and you have spoken a lot about Stirrup Cup over the journey. I loved his running the Gawler Cup. He took some really good ground off Air Assaults, and he looks ready to me. I think he's got a nom in for the John Letts Cup over 1,800 metres at Morphettville on Melbourne Cup Day. He's certainly trending in the right direction. We sort of spoke about this horse 12 months ago, and they did the right thing, I think. They restricted the urge to go to a Derby trip as a 3-year-old, and he ended up running an absolute massive race in that Adelaide Guineas behind On Display. So I think Sarah's done the right thing there. Looks to be very close to winning a race. It's going to be a hot race, that John Letts Cup, as always, because it's a listed feature, but Stirrup Cup's going to win very, very soon.
All right, we welcome today's guest to the pod, Andrew Gluyas. Stable is absolutely flying, taking out consecutive SA features. Firstly, Air Assault winning the Gawler Cup. Where will he go to next?
I'll go to John Letts on Cup Day 1800. He did well last year in that race, and he was a good second up effort by him at Gawler. So we'll stay home for the next start.
You like a stable full of Air Assaults, mate? Geez, he's been a good horse over the journey.
Oh, he's a ripper. He's been great to us. Like, he's come up as a 2-year-old winning the stakes race, and his 3-year-old campaign was fantastic, sort of early and late. And he sort of continues to deliver. He's sort of loves winning at listed level. He's sort of group placed as well. So but when he's right, he turns up, and he's always sort of, the punters are never really in love with him, I suppose. He's always seems to be a bit of a price, but he's been a great horse for us, and he's only probably just getting going. I think he's probably a horse that'll stay, I reckon, as we sort of move on with his career. But at this stage, he's come up and won 1,500 second up, so it's great.
Yeah, as you said, the punters certainly didn't respect him much on Friday. We were talking in hindsight. It's a wonderful thing in racing, but geez, he was the price that you wish you could go back and have a look, because his record speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he sort of comes up this time of the year, and people ought to follow him, I hope.
All right, we'll move on to Saturday. It's obviously back to Flemington for the stable, the scene of, such great memories last year winning the Derby, but this time it's about Freedom Flame, the Hillsmith Stakes winner. How's she? And I guess it's what are you expecting Saturday? Because obviously she's a horse that gives every impression that, she's just going to eat up the ground the further she gets.
Yeah, I think she'll race well. I thought she looked to be improving as the preparation sort of gotten deeper. A few good runs, and then an outstanding run last start in the Hill Smith over at 1800. So stretch her out to 2,000 metres at Flemington. I feel that the 2,000 metres will suit her a treat. It's just a matter of whether she's at the standard or not. I'm sure she is. And whether that then sort of sets her up for an Oaks crack, we'll just have to see what happens on Saturday, but expecting her to race well Saturday.
Yeah, that was the next question I was going to ask. If you would push on to the Oaks, obviously it's there, and she's just, at a filly that keeps improving, and it's probably the right time to be improving because she's, certainly going to measure up, you would think, what we've seen here in Adelaide.
Yeah, she just took a little bit of racing to get going, and sort of we had to work her out as well. But now that she's sort of, the penny has dropped, Saturday will suit her an absolute treat, I reckon. Jamie takes the ride, which is exciting, and then we'll just see how that comes together for. We'll nominate her Friday, and then just see what happens with coming out of the weight field, because she's a young horse and there's a bit of pressure there. So just see how it all comes together, but it's exciting.
And Watchme Win goes over to Melbourne as well, the horse that we've spoken a lot about to you previously. He was okay the other day. What's been the stable's opinion of how he's travelling, and what are you expecting this time around with him?
Look, I think he'll race well. I thought in the Gilgai he wasn't disgraced. We sort of got a bit out of our ground and were on the wrong part of the track where the race wasn't, and perhaps a little bit not suitable there. So we regrouped, kept him pretty fresh. I think down the straight again. Now he's had a bit of a go at it. We sort of know what to expect. He gets down in the weights, and I think the race suits him quite nicely. So we're considering him in form. I feel that he ought to acquit himself quite well on Saturday.
And while we've got you, we'll cast our net further to Tuesday. Will the Ruger Mumma go to the 2,800 on the back of that ultra impressive win here at Morphettville last weekend?
Yeah, we'll nominate and intend to go over. I think that she's sort of been screaming out to get over ground, and sort of 2,800 ought to suit her perfectly. She's raced well at Flemington, sort of in a benchmark 100 over 2,000 metres last year. She ought to fit in well as well there. And she was on the back of quite a good run. Feel that she's hit her straps and she's matured into that stayer that hopefully can take that next step now.
And I sense maybe this is a setup to see whether you go to the Adelaide Cup this year. Obviously, last year you went to Tasmania and kept her, just resisted the urge, I guess, to go to the 2 miles. Is the Adelaide Cup is that getting spoken about already?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we'll just see what happens now. I'd love to present it to the Lord Reims. There's no doubt about that, and then just see what transpires there. But yeah, we'll definitely have that on our mind. But we won't be going back to Tassie in a hurry with it. That's for sure.
Okay, and while we've got you, mate, you've got a shorty early on Saturday, Guru Warrior, the horse that's a progressive stayer himself. He wanted to run off the track and do a few things wrong but still win last start. Have you done anything there gear-wise, or what was the reasoning, and will he just win again?
I hope he does. We did consider gear, but we just decided against it. We sort of gave him the benefit of the doubt because he does seem to travel so well in his races. We just didn't want to upset that component of his racing. Felt that he, was exposed at the top of the straight and under pressure, just got the wobbles a little bit just because he just got lost really. So we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully it's a small numbered race again. So hopefully there's just that little bit more pressure there for him, or something for him to follow on Saturday. But yeah, hopefully we can work through our grades with him. But we're giving him the benefit of the doubt there.
No, we appreciate you taking some time out of a very hectic schedule to jump on Frontrunner and talk to us, mate. So good luck over the weekend and the couple of weeks going forward. I know it's the right time of year to have a stable firing, and you are absolutely airborne. So cheers again, mate.
Lovely. Thanks, Link. Thanks, Andy.
Okay, Dare to Dream Horse of the Week time. And if you want to get involved with today's guest and the Gluyas stable, they have a nice 2-year-old filly up on the Dare to Dream website as we speak. Now, this filly's dad, Farnan, was a champion 2-year-old winning the Golden Slipper. And its mum was actually a winner at 2 in America. And it was those American bloodlines that Andrew and the team were drawn to. And they're really excited about her future, and they think that she'll be an early running type. So if you want to get involved with Andrew or any other horses in SA, get onto the Dare to Dream website, daretodream.com.au. Race of the Daytime link. This one's a heat of the G-Char series, a benchmark 82 over 1100. The G-Char final on Sportsbet Finals Day is always an absolute cracker, and it's no surprise when you look at some of the horses in this heat. We'll run through a few of the fancied runners. First up, the Toppy, Sir Now. Good first up from a spell. It's a winner, but it does have to carry the weight.
Yeah, Sir Now is a very good horse, one that we'd all like to own. What's he had? 15 starts, 7 wins, 5 placings. So exceptional record, this horse. And he ran enormous first up, I thought, in what was a pretty, as good a race as this. That was an 84, and he was back. He was only beaten 2.36 lengths. You would expect fitter here to improve. He draws the right gate, and the 1100 probably suits. He's just got to carry 62.5, but I think he's a definite winning hope here, and he's probably going to be my top pick in the race, Sir Now.
Okay, well, you're getting 460 for Sir Now.
Backable.
Second horse we're going to look at is Caravas for the Richard and Chantel Jolly Yard. It comes back from Melbourne, where it wasn't too far away in a Group 3. Early 6 out to 7s.
Yeah, it's funny. She's not a horse that the punters tend to gravitate towards too much. Caravas was similar last week before the races were called off. I think she was a big drifter in that race. He touched on her Melbourne form's very good. Wasn't beaten far behind. She's bulletproof in that Group 3 Northwood Plume. That's great form for a race like this. She draws gate 2, gets a 3 kilo claim. Look, she's going to be, right down on the minimum of life hope. And if you go back, her first up win on the Parks, I thought was exceptional. So she's a live hope here, Caravas, and I think she's probably overs. Zabella's
a horse that was crunched in late last week before the races were called off. I think it got into mid-2s as favourite. Good gate, drawn well. How do you think Zabella will go?
Yeah, respect any time the Stokes stable have a swing at one when it comes to the punt, because they rarely miss. And, they haven't risked her this week after
it's 320, opened up favourite. Yep.
Yeah, well, the money was there last week. Look, her last start, that was back on September 27 behind Ndola, was very good. And as we know, she's got a good record, this horse. She's only won 4, but she's been placed at 11 and does love it here at Morphettville with she's only been out of the money at 3 of 8. I think, again, another that looks very well weighted here in a race where the Toppy's going to have to lug a bit. I think Zabella is definitely a winning hope and must be included in any multiples.
And the last horse we're going to look at, who hasn't done a lot wrong since coming to SA, 2 wins and a second, is Mount Niseko for Chris Beeg.
Yeah, absolutely done a great job. Put together wins on the Parks and at Morphettville, beat Kalasek 2 runs back. And then last start I thought was very good behind a good horse in Wigham, who he'll go to Flemington, I think, Saturday week. So Mount Niseko, as you said, has done nothing wrong. And look, there was some serious money for him last start. So Beeggie's got this horse up and about. And I think from that barrier, they'll probably be looking to do everything they can to hold the front. He's going to be in front for a long way. And he'll run well, but there's, I think, also chances. Superlana's a horse I've got a bit of time for as well. And Perilous Fighter's an interesting horse. Obviously, came over last week and didn't get a run. Drew the inside last week where I thought it was going to be a chance. Now it's got a draw gate 8, so probably doesn't help. And the one down the bottom that's also racing well is Clarence. I jumped off him right when he won a race earlier this prep, but he's still plugging away. And I think this is the sort of race where he'll appreciate really good tempo and can finish off. So drawing out wide for him doesn't matter, because he's a horse that likes to, grind through his gears and wind up late.
So, it's a cracking race. 7 of the 8 runners are $8.50 or under. Yeah. Open race. And what your tips?
I'm going to tip Sir Now. I think he's value at that 460, and I just love the fact that this horse loves winning. So he's on top. I've got Caravas second and Zabella for third. So, it is a great addition. These G-Tra heats are always great races, and they shape up for a good final. I think if we go back 2 years, Q-Man he ran favourite and didn't actually win the G-Tra, did he? Yeah, absolutely. And then was a Group 1 winner the next year. So some very progressive young sprinters coming through, and Sir Now certainly a horse that I'm keen to follow, and I think he can win this at that nice price. Might even get each way odds, which would be very nice. But Sir Now, top tip in the G-Tra for me.
So that was the race of the day, and we move on to link your best bets at Morphettville on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm rolling the dice here, and I'm going to go against Andrew Gluyas and a horse I've been absolutely all over, Guru Warrior, in the opening race. I'm going to tip Talisay.
Okay.
I really like this filly. I think it's probably been about time they got her to this trip. We seen this time last year. She ran through the Wakeful and the Oaks. Was a horse that was working through the line nicely, and look, her prep's been really solid. She was a winner over 1,500 a few runs back. Her last start was behind Dark and Confidential. That horse will go to Flemington next week for a race. So I think she ticks all the right boxes form-wise. Blinkers come off to, I guess, help her relax. Gate 5, Rochelle Milnes. I'm pretty keen on Talisay race 1, number 5. And then we're going to follow up in race 5. And this is a horse that of Travis Dowdle. He's another trainer, a Morphettville trainer that's got a bit of a hand during Cup Week. He's got a few nommed here, there and everywhere. I know Wigham definitely goes next Saturday. He's a horse that's won at Flemington before. So Travis got 2 runners here, but I think Flaming Navy is a very progressive horse. Race 5, number 8. Look, comes off a dominant win last start at Balaclava. Sure, that was in a lot lesser race than this. It was a Class 1 over 1,600, but he made an absolute mess of him, won by 6.73 lengths. He's, I reckon, a horse that's trending the right direction. Middle gate gets a 3 kilo claim for Caitlin Tootle, who's going nicely at the moment. I think Flaming Navy is going to be very hard to beat. Race 5, number 8.
Okay, so we're getting $3.80 at the moment for Talisay and $3.20 for Flaming Navy. So
it's a very deep race, or deep card, punting-wise, at Morphettville. I spoke to you off air about this. So when I went through the quaddie legs, I was like, I will not be taking a quaddie because I just don't know where to look. So, and also in that quaddie leg, we have to mention race 9 is a very special race on Saturday, isn't it? Tell us about it, Andy. What is it? Or do you want me to tell all our listeners? It's the happiest 40th birthday Andy Adams Handicap. So
yes, news to me as of this morning.
Yeah, I thought
it was a present from Arlen that left me or something. But no, the family have set me up there. So.
Forget the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. It's all about race 9.
It's the biggest race of the week. That's
biggest
for sure.
race of the day. The happy 40th Andy Adams Handicap at Morphettville on Saturday. So good luck to punters out there, and good luck to you on your 40th, mate.
Thanks, Link. So that just about does it for another episode of the Front Runner podcast. Obviously, one of the biggest, probably the biggest week of racing coming up. It's a bit like being a kid on Christmas Eve, I think, this. So, and there's going to be a huge SA presence across the week, especially in Melbourne, Link.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Not for the faint-hearted Cup week. It's easy to throw the toys out early if you're not going well, but there'll be there's 4 days of action at Flemington. Yeah, you said huge SA presence. Obviously kicks off this weekend on Saturday. Freedom Flames, the horse we'll be watching with interest, and obviously Andrew Gluyas also touched on. Aruga Mama goes to the 2800 on Cup Day. We're going to see Dark and Confidential go over to Melbourne in hot form for Stewie Gow, which is great to see. Michael Hickmont's got an absolute entourage of horses going over. The Watch there will be Party Crasher. I don't think he's had the prep they wanted. Obviously missed a run last week, but this is where they've been wanting to get him. He's obviously got Fancify going there. Promises Kep's a horse that's ticking away nicely, I reckon. Adelaide Cup Watch, that one.
Okay.
And Travis Dowdle's got a stack of horses going over too. We've touched on Wigham briefly, but he's got noms left, right and centre. So busy week, keep an eye on all the fields, support the South Australians, and who knows, hopefully we can have another Derby day like last year. It won't be quite the same winning the Wakeful, but you never know. I reckon Freedom Flames in that race up to her ears, and Jamie Mellum wouldn't have jumped on if she didn't think that horse can win. So good luck to everyone involved.
Absolutely, and of course racing at Morphettville Saturday, Tuesday, and then Oaks Day at Gawler. So plenty of racing in SA as well. So I think that does it, Link. Thanks for the heavy lifting today.
No worries. It's always good to have you back, mate, especially on such an occasion as the Andy Adams Handicap on Saturday. But make sure you give us a follow on X, Facebook and Instagram, daretodream.com.au for all your ownership opportunities or information is there. So, thanks, Andy.
Good luck, Link.